First, this is going to work with any bass. I don't think it matters if you have a Hero 4 or a Hero 5 for your thing. My thoughts on the GoPro mounts are they just aren't made well. Number one, on the headstock, even though the adhesive mounts, if you get those, I just don't like having them, and I don't want anything either permanent or quote semi-permanent on my instrument. I don't want anything affixed to my instrument, right? And if I've got something on the headstock, even a little bit of something is going to be too heavy at some point. So those big arms or anything that's long is going to be heavy. Even the thing that I'm going to show you is going to, you're going to feel the weight of it. There's no way of getting around that. But if you can, you can last half a set or something like that. If you got a really special set that you're doing, maybe a big crowd or something like that, this is really, really a dope application. So here's what I got. I got a clamp from the hardware store. I had the guy at the hardware store drill a hole in there, right? I'm gonna put all this stuff together in a second, but I'm just holding my phone with my hand, so you bear with me. So this little screw is gonna go in there. That's gonna act as a tripod mount. That's what we're gonna use this dude right here, which I think comes with every GoPro. You don't wanna add the other thing that you clip on. You know what I'm talking about. If you got a GoPro, you know what I'm talking about. You don't wanna use that because that's gonna add extra weight. You don't want that. Right? So then we've got the frame. Now check this. You want to use a frame. While I'm at it, you see this right here? These frames aren't made very well either. But I think there's some companies out there that make frames that don't flip open, that don't break like that. All right, this one's still got a little bit of life left, but I tell you what, I bought this thing for 40 bucks in Memphis last year, right? I don't know why I spent 40 bucks on that, but I spent 40 bucks on that. And of course you got the arms right there, right? So Pete, you don't want to use a casing, no type of casing, because what's going to happen is that's going to interfere with the mic, and you're going to hear the camera bouncing around in that thing. You don't want to use that. The microphone on the GoPro camera is surprisingly dope. I've actually had this thing on my amp cabinet, on top of two Aguilar 212 cabinets and a DB750, and it's been like super dope audio. So don't fool around with them cases, man. You're gonna be wasting your time and your money. So let me show you now how I put this thing together. So I want the camera to damn it, be upright, facing that, facing towards the body. So I need for it to bend that way, right? And this is where you got to do some adjusting. Right? You got to do a little bit of adjusting. So there's where the clamp is. Or you can put the clamp like this, but no matter how you slice it, this is gonna add some weight, a lot of weight. I don't like it like this because that, to me, gets too heavy. It feels a little bit more heavy than having it, say, this way. I like to have it this way, right? So before I even have the camera on this, see how awkward that is? So now I have to adjust this, right? Ain't gonna work that way. I need to be like this. The GoPro camera is charging, that's why it's not in the frame. And then it's easier to deal with this stuff with it not being in the frame anyway. So then I just screw this bad boy in there. Like that. You got yourself a GoPro mount that comes on and off without marking up the headstock. Right now, I admittedly have to replace this tape that's on here, but let me tighten this down and show you what it looks like for real. So here's what it looks like, no camera in there, right? This part clamps on, obviously. This part hangs at the bottom. And this thing has been worked, man. You know, the GoPro was probably one of the best investments that I've made. If you've seen my bass tutorials and stuff, you know that most of the stuff I make, man, is made with the GoPro. Anyway, yeah, so that's how I have made a GoPro mount. Check it. If you make something like this, or if you find some ways that you can make something like this a little bit lighter and easier to deal with, man, let me know. I want to hear what kind of ideas you have as well, man. Hey, thanks for checking out the channel, man. Be sure to connect with me on all social networks at Son of a Bass or Son of a Bass 504, one of those combinations. All right, it's your boy Blyss, man. Holla. Peace.